Hey guys, and welcome back to another video of maths. Today I'll be introducing algebra and its importance, and together we'll be going through some questions to make sure that everyone has a clear understanding. I will begin the intro to algebra by explaining order of operations, which are the most important rules needed to solve an equation. You'll be using algebra during school, uni, and out in the real world every day, so it is very important to understand how algebra works. Okay, so let's pretend that the orders of operation is the school principal. So let's draw this is the school principal, and then we've got some little kids. Okay, so let's have a rule book. Okay, now if the principal has a set of rules that the children need to follow and they don't, then there'll be trouble. There will be after school detention for those who don't listen. But in this case, with orders of operation, if you don't follow these rules, you simply won't get the equation right. Alright, so we have over here some of the rules. Number one is do things in brackets first. So, for example, what does that mean, to do things in brackets first? If we have an equation that looks like 2 plus 3 minus 5, what does that equal? When it says to do things in brackets first, this is what it looks like. This is what it's meant to be in brackets or parentheses. So you can either do 2 plus 3, which is 5, minus 5, which equals 0. Or you do 2, let's imagine that the brackets doesn't exist if no one knows what it means. And then people will just write 2 plus 3 minus 5, which was, 2 plus 3, which also equals 0. But this is the wrong way to do it. You need to do inside the brackets first, which is the 2 plus 3, which gives you the 5, and then you subtract the 5 after. We're just lucky that it ends up being the same answer, but later in the video you'll realize that it does make a big difference. Okay, now the second rule for the orders of operation is exponents. Exponents mean to the power of, which we learned in index notation. I did that in the previous video, so if you guys haven't checked it out, go and have a look. But essentially what it means is, for example, if we've got 2 to the power of 2, plus 3 inside a bracket, plus 10. So in order to solve this equation, what would you need to do is, we did say that do things inside the bracket first, meaning we're going to ignore the 10 for now. But since the second rule says do exponents first, what would happen is we do need to solve what's inside the bracket, but we've got an exponent here. So that will turn out to be 2 to the power of 2, which is 4, plus 3, which is still inside the bracket, plus 10. And since there's still a bracket and we need to solve that first, we work inside the bracket. So that'll be 4 plus 3, 7 plus 10. Therefore, the final answer is 17. Okay, now the second last orders of operation rule that we have is to multiply or divide before any addition or subtraction. So what does that mean? We've got, let's say 7 times 2 plus 5 minus 2. That'll be question 1. In question 2, we've got 4 divided by 2 plus 3 times 2 minus 4. So that one's a bit more trickier. So we'll do it in red, but we'll get back to it, and eventually, hopefully by the end of the video, you guys will understand and you'll be able to solve some questions. Okay, so to multiply or divide first before any addition or subtraction. Well, actually, first we need to go to rule number 1 and see if there's any brackets in the question. If there's no brackets, we go down to number 2, which is exponents or to the power of. And we don't have that anyway. Do we have any division in the equation? No, but we do have multiplication. So we need to multiply the numbers before any addition or subtraction. Therefore, we will do 7 times 2 first, which is 14, plus 5 minus 2. Which equals 17. Okay, you guys can pause the video and slowly go through it. And if you're ready to move on, we can go to question 2. So, multiply or divide before addition or subtraction. We've got both here a division sign and a multiplication sign, and then we do have an addition and a subtraction sign. But first, now it doesn't matter if we start with 4 divided by 2 or 3 times 2, it's the same thing. But we can just start going from left to right. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then we're going to keep the plus sign. And what's 3 times 2? That's 6 minus 4. Now we can just solve that normally. Okay. Okay, now finally we have rule number 4, which states otherwise, if there is only addition or subtraction inside the equation, or multiplication and division, we just go left to right. So an example is like similar to what we had before, where it was like, say, 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5, and you could just go on forever. Or 2 times 3 divided by 2 times 5 divided by 10, forever. If there's only plus or minus or times and division, since they're in the same kind of rule, we just go from left to right. So we just solve this by saying 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5, etc., etc. And likewise, 2 times 3 divided by 2, then times it by 5, divided by 10, and so on. Okay. Now I'd just like to take a moment to pause the video. You guys can take it all in. Also, if you haven't already, please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel for you to be notified when new videos come out. Okay, now we'll be starting with some questions for some practice. Okay, I hope you guys are ready to solve some questions. Don't be overwhelmed, they're not too hard. They might look long and tricky, but as long as we have the order of operations list over here, we should be able to get a crack on them. Alright, so let's start with question number 1. We've got 4 plus 6 minus 2 times 2. And what does that equal? So let's get rid of this question mark. Alright, so do we have any brackets? No, so we can skip out on the first rule. Do we have any exponents? No. Do we have any multiplication or division? Yes. So that means we'll start with rule number 3. And otherwise, we go left to right. Alrighty, so we're going to leave the beginning as it is. 4 plus 6 minus 2 times 2, that's 4. And now to solve the question, 4 plus 6 minus 4 will equal, the 4 and the 4 disappear, will be left with 6. Okay, now question 2. 3 plus 2 minus 5 plus 6. Alright, we don't have any brackets, we don't have any to the power ofs, we don't have any multiplication or division, otherwise we just go left to right. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so 3 plus 2 minus 5 plus 6. Alright, so 3 plus 2, like this, is 5, minus 5, which equals 0, plus 6, which equals 6. Okay. Question 3. 2 times 5 minus 3 plus, inside the brackets, 1 plus 2. Okay, so we do have a bracket, so we need to solve that first. We do have a multiplication, so then we're going to do that after. And then we're just going to go from left to right. Alrighty, so 1 plus 2, that's going to be 3. And then 2 times 5, that's 10. So it's going to look like 10 minus 3 plus 3. So 10 minus 3, that's 7, plus 3, it's going to equal 10 again. See, so it wasn't that too hard. We're just going to make sure that we go through this sort of operations, and once you guys start solving a lot of questions, you'll get the orders of operations stuck in your head, and you'll be able to solve them fast. Okay, question number 4. We've got 2 plus 4 times, inside the bracket, 4 plus 2 to the power of 2. Trying to get rid of that. Okay. We do have a bracket, 4 plus 2 to the power of 2. And we do have to the power of, so that's what we're going to be doing after. And then we do have a multiplication, times it by 4, and then we're just going to solve left to right. Okay, so since we're going to start with the bracket, and inside we need to do something. So what we'll do is identify what 2 to the power of 2 is. If you put that in the calculator, that's 4. So we're going to have 4 plus 4 inside the bracket, multiplied by 4. And then we're going to add 2 to it at the end. So then what's 4 plus 4 inside the bracket? That's 8 times by 4. So from left to right, we're just going to write it again neatly. 2 plus 4 times 4 plus 4 is 8. Multiplications goes first. So 4 times 8 is 32. And then adding a 2 will make it 34. So this is the final answer. Question number 5. We've got 2 to the power of 2 plus 3 divided by 3. We do not have any brackets, but we do have to the power of, followed by division and then addition. So we're going to start with no brackets. We're going to start with 2 to the power of 2, which is 4. And then we're going to do plus 3 divided by 3. And then solving that again. We're going to start with the division here. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then we're going to add the 4, which gives us 5. Pretty simple. Okay, question number 6. 7 minus 6 times 9 divided by 1. Alright, so we do have a bracket, and then we do have multiplication and division. So once we solve what's inside the bracket, we just go from left to right because multiplication and division are in the same rule. So seven minus 6 is 1, times that by 9, divide that by 1. 1 times 9 is 9, divided by 1 equals 9. And finally, the last question, we've got 5 to the power of 2 divided by 5. We do not have any brackets, but we do have to the power of. And then we've got division followed after. Nice and easy. 5 to the power of 2 is 25. And then divided by 5. And then if you put that in a calculator, you will end up with 5. So these are the answers. What you can do is you can pause the video and try solve them yourself, and then scroll to the end just to see if you got the right answer, and just keep practicing. And that's the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something.